we are bringing you breaking news from Channel Ion News due to a recent outbreak of 17-beta-estradiol, also known as estrogen, involving the G protein coupled estrogen receptor 1. For more on this issue, we go to the current leader in science these days, Dr. Ben Zine. Now what's all this stress about? Just a little old estrogen.
And estrogen, yeah. So estrogen has 3 receptors. The first 2, alpha and beta, are involved in gene transcription. Meanwhile, the third one is the one that is most intriguing to scientists like myself.
And you're not quite selling me on this one. I heard that the third receptor, G protein coupled estrogen receptor 1, is associated with many pregenomic effects and also has genomic effects such as the upregulation of genes.
You heard correctly, that is oddly specific. So estrogen may also have an effect on calmodulin levels, and calmodulin, of course, is the ubiquitous transducer of intracellular calcium signals.
You are the ubiquitous transducer of my love.
Reporting live on the corner of Mido and Condriel Avenue, I have with me an excited citizen and popular blogger from the channel microtube.yule to talk about the recent news that has gone viral. An outbreak in 17-beta-estradiol. How are you today, Mr. Phil Ament?
This outbreak gives me hope for a better life. Don't you see?
A recent study emerging from this outbreak looked at binding affinity with and without estrogenic stimulation. It appeared as though estrogen increased the normally low binding affinity of G protein estrogen receptor 1 to calmodulin.
We've heard that estrogen affects other pathways and receptors as well. Could you please explain this mechanism?
Estrogen is very powerful, as you can see here.
Estrogen can also activate 2 different pathways that are interconnected. This figure outlines the entirety of the feedback loop we are examining here. First, you can see a change in the plasma membrane calcium ATPase, or PMCA, causing a decrease in calcium, which in turn leads to upregulation of calcium production. On the other half of the pathway, estrogen stimulates the G protein coupled receptor 1, which ultimately leads to an increase in calmodulin expression and increased calcium levels. This increased calcium upregulates the same G protein coupled estrogen receptor 1 in this positive feedback loop. Estrogen can contribute to increased calmodulin binding for all 4 effector proteins seen at the bottom of the diagram.
Do you think it is possible that estrogen and derivatives may be used for treatment of people with low calmodulin and calcium levels?
Exactly. Estrogen may not be as selfish as we once thought. It can also be used for good.
Previous studies have found that estrogen can have many effects on the vascular endothelial cell makeup that are linked to protection against cardiovascular disease. However, there are many dangers associated with estrogenic supplementation and increased estrogen levels within the body. Estrogenic stimulation of G protein coupled estrogen receptor 1 can be selective enough to possibly provide therapeutic effects with estrogen signaling without the harmful side effects.
You heard it here, folks. Back to you!
Any last minute comments?
Yeah, so increased levels of calcium and calmodulin could potentially activate CAMK2 as well.
There you have it, folks. We'll be back to talk about CAMK2 with CAMK2's #1 fan.
But I love CAMK2.